and all to the first ever video cast from the Belfast the BIMO podcast with me, the best host Anthony, and the B host.
Shut you up.
Jared, what's happening?
What's happening at all?
This is not endorsed by Pepsi, by the way.
Nor is this endorsed by Boost. Gotta get that drink on, you know.
So we're here again, back. Our first ever returning guest, our biggest guest. He's now a two-time appearance on the BIMO podcast, and he's also a two-time Olympic boxer. Brendan Irvine, wee Rooster, welcome back, mate.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Good to be back on the show.
So, last time you were on, you were a big deal. Now you're an even bigger deal. What's been happening since?
I wouldn't class myself as a big deal, so I wouldn't.
Mate, if you have a mural, you're a big deal. You know what I mean?
No, definitely not. I've been through the wars, to be honest with you. 2018 was the last time. It was the 17th of October 2018 I was on your show, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
So I was just after having surgery in August, the last time I was on the show, and I was on the mend. I was doing my recovery and stuff, so that was hard to overcome and stuff that there. And I was just getting back to form, back to myself. I had a fight. My first fight after that was in New York on St. Patrick's Day in 2019. And I won. Everything was back to normal. My hand was okay. Everything was spot on. And then I was selected to go to Germany to represent Ireland in a multi-nations tournament. Was beat, but was happy enough to be back in the ring in the mix. And then after that, I was selected to represent Ireland in the European Games in Minsk. And everything was flying. I was in training camp. Everything was going perfect. The second last bar of the training camp, I fell over. I was sparring an American guy, and I fell over, got up, sparred on, and everything was okay. Got out of the ring, I was limping. Didn't realise I was even limping until my coach says, "Everything all right?" I says, "Why?" And he says, "You're limping." I didn't even realise at the time. Obviously, my adrenaline was just pumping through me, and found out then this was a Saturday. I was told to rest up over the weekend by physios. Rested up, come back Monday, no better. Sent for a scan on the Tuesday. Seen a foot consultant on the Wednesday for a CT scan, and he gave me the bad news that I was going to be ruled out of the European Games. So it's been a whirlwind since then, like with ups and downs, like. So that was a big part because it was such a big tournament, and for me to be the first ever European Games medalist for Ireland, I was hoping to go out there and medal again.
What was the exact injury?
It was a fracture. You have two sesamoid bones underneath your big toe, and one of them was fractured, stress fracture. Right, okay. So any weight bearing exercises on your feet, I just couldn't tolerate. So even walking was a struggle. I was walking with a limp when it was fractured. So I was put in a boot I was in the boot for 8 weeks, took out of it for 4, and then put back into it for 4. So it was like ups and downs. It was getting better, then it wasn't getting better, and then, just frustration and, just trying to stay positive about the whole thing was probably the hardest thing to do, like, but,
How are you able to stay positive in that? Sorry, Jared. What do you do to make yourself go right? Get through a day, don't give up or whatever.
I would I'm not gonna say like there's a perfect thing to do because there's not. Like when you're doing if you're a footballer, all you want to do is play football. If you're a boxer, all you want to do is fight. And when you can't compete like at the highest level, like and your teammates are all over, especially at the European Games. I missed out on the European Games and the World Championships. Seeing Emmons being away competing and stuff, it was probably the hardest thing for me to do. But I was still training. I was training back home, and I was in Jordanstown, Sinai, and I was in my own club with Ralph every day. I was training on a boot for this whole period of time, and I was training in Jordanstown in the mornings, training in my club at night, and then throughout the week when I wasn't in Jordanstown, I was in the swimmers doing my swims. And throughout that course, I actually became a lifeguard. And I was actually working some weekends and stuff, getting a couple of shifts in. But the key thing that sort of got me throughout the whole thing was having a routine, having a structure to my day. Like I was having a plan, so each day I would have got up, I would have knew where I was going to, where I was going to St Mary's College in the Falls Road, because at that time I couldn't drive. So my strength coach would have travelled to St Mary's, and we would have done our session there, and I would have knew what the next session was or what I was doing for the rest of the day. I was having a plan, having a routine, and even now, when this period where this pandemic where we're in, it's having a good structure to your day. Like I know.
Sorry, Brendan. Were you saying Pam or Pan?
Pan or pan. It's having a good structure. Like I'll write down 3 things each day for me to do, for me to try and hit, like wee small targets. Maybe going for a walk, maybe taking the dog a walk, or even a bit of meditation, or doing training. Like the other day, I was sitting in the house and I was melted, and I went out on the bike and done 10 mile on the bike. And see, after I felt unbelievable. It put like I can't describe how much exercise helps me. So after
And that was
training,
just in the
there was
cul-de-sac
no
outside your house.
up and down the streets of Glencoe. No, exercise is going to help me a lot through this whole period where you can't do a whole lot. But yeah, so having a good structure to your day, having wee targets to set yourself. But also throughout that time, I was doing a bit of work with psychologists, one in Jordanstown and one in the south. I'll give them a mention, Gary Longwell and Cab McManaman. They were big helps to me throughout the process. Like.
Go ahead, G.
Well, what I was going to ask him was about the actual training and stuff, because I knew he trained on a boot, so I thought that like that shows dedication and drive. You know, the fact that somebody's training with their it's equivalent to training with a cast on you. You know, when you're a boxer, you're limited movement and stuff. So obviously he's already talked about how that felt. But so once you get through that, Brendan, obviously the Commonwealth was next for you, was it?
No, the Commonwealth. This was after the Commonwealth. Remember, Commonwealths were 2018. So they were. So the next thing was in. Well, see, I was training through European Games, fractured my foot in the second last bar, and the World Championships were in September. So I asked my physios, like, what's the chance of this being all right for the World Championships? And he says, look, there's a good chance that you'll be all right. Probably trying to keep my hopes up instead of knocking me down. So throughout that whole time, I was training a boot, thinking I was going to the World Championships in September. I was training as if I was doing everything that I could to go to the World Championships. Now it's mad looking back, thinking, how the hell, from June to September, and throughout that whole time I was in a boot most of it. So how can you even think that you're going to manage the peak, get sparring, get running?
Lose weight.
It was mad to even think. Yeah, to lose. Like I was honestly thinking that I was going to the World Championships in September, but obviously it wasn't going to be, because it was a lot longer than what I actually thought I was going to be out of the ring for.
Go ahead, G.
So I suppose that obviously just recently there you've qualified for the Olympics that are now moved to next year, 2021. So what did you feel like the differences were this time versus last time, like for qualifying? Because last time was obviously quite late, and this time now you've another year to go before you get there. So
yeah, the whole experience is completely different. We were out there, and I was off all social media for 5 days. So, like, I wasn't seeing a whole lot of what people were saying online about the coronavirus and whatever else, because it was a big factor in it too, because obviously the tournament was cancelled, but it's still going to run whenever this clears. But you know, people obviously writing on Facebook and stuff, but thank God I wasn't seeing a whole lot of it. You know, I was only seeing what was ever on the news, or you know, if one's back home and we and stuff were asking, you know, was the tournament still happening, or you know, is it still safe for you to be out there? But yeah, it was completely different. You know, even coming back to the airport, you know, it was like a ghost town. Coming back to the airport after qualifying for Rio, it was like a celebration. You know, everyone there to congratulate you, and then coming back, and there was no people in the airport at all. Nothing. No, like it was like a ghost town. With the place being on lockdown and stuff. But you know, it's just I to be honest with you, I would actually rather no celebrations, no nothing. I would rather just sort of move on rather than having the whole big fuss about it. Like, because then it makes out to be less of a big deal, and then you can sort of just focus on what you have to do.
So, do you think not having technology whenever you've been away benefited you?
100%, 100%. Because like, I actually got a couple of pictures sent through to me, like of people in shops, like fighting over toilet roll and stuff like that. There, you know, you don't need to see all that. Like, especially if that's back home, you know, you're only going to be like, "Flip, what's it actually like back home when I'm over here competing?" You know, and London's a lot bigger than Belfast, so uh, it was a big help to me, I think, and I'll definitely be using it again. Like,
See, I was just going to say that. See, when you were in Rio, did you have access to your social media?
yes, I did indeed. I was on social media, I think, in Rio. Maybe logged off the day of the fight or something like that there, but I think maybe for all my fights probably now I'll log off all social media for maybe 5 days to a week, 7 days. I think it just gives me more focus. You know, there's no shit. There's no people good luck, or I know people are wishing me well and whatever else, but it's are people even trying to give you tactics you don't even know. So it's a big help, and I'll definitely be doing it again. Like,
And
So,
so, what did you? Oh,
go, Jared,
go
go.
ahead.
No,
I
you.
was going to ask, what did you feel between qualifying so late last time and so early this time? How does that feel for you?
I think if out of all the people, it only helps me more because like I've been so inactive for so long with injuries, like, and I need more rounds. It'll only benefit me because I'll get more time to prepare. I know people like the rest of the team, they have the tournaments. I'll have the tournament as well. Like, I'll finish that tournament, but it'll only benefit me to get rounds. There's no pressure on what's next. It's just to get rounds and keep active, and you know, keep injury free, and you know, stay on top of me rather than worrying about trying to qualify or things like that. There, I just have to control what I can control.
So, see the way you're saying about pressure there? I was
Yep.
listening to Chael Sonnen's podcast, and he brought this point up about the Olympics. Do you think the number one ranked guy, obviously, is that I think it won't be the person who won the gold last time. Could you go through the whole cycle again? The guy who's ranked number one, do you think he now has even more pressure? Because he's going to be sitting, obviously, if you're number one, you have a target on your back. Is he going to be sitting going and thinking, do you think that actually might be a disadvantage to him or her in respective sports? Because they're going to be overthinking.
Everyone's different. Like, people can deal with, like, people like that pressure. They like that, you know, people are out to get me, you know, I need to perform. People deal with that differently. Or some people aren't so good with it, but obviously everyone's going to be feeling a wee bit of pressure with the Olympic Games. It's like the pinnacle of the sporting world. So, but it's just how you deal with it and manage it. You know, the last time I was sort of a wee bit nervous and didn't know what to expect, but really it's just another boxing ring and another opponent, same judges, referee. You know, there's nothing different really. Like,
Well, just what you said there. One of the questions was going to be: is there a difference between a world medal and an Olympic medal? So obviously, it seems to be the same sort of tournament, but one is celebrated a lot bigger around the world. You know, and probably more the TV sponsors and stuff. But is there a difference? What is the difference for you as an athlete?
Yeah, well, people have probably asked me would I rather a World or Olympic. I would take Olympic all day long. It's the biggest sporting event in the world, and like the world, I think the Worlds is maybe every year, every second year. So that just shows you how big the Olympics actually is. If it's every 4 years, and it's like it's the gem of the gem. It's the top of the top. Like I think it's someone told me before. I think it's like 0.1% of the world's population get to actually go. So when you take that into consideration, and even I think it was I was reading something before. It might have been Kenny Egan saying about it. I think if you go into a shopping centre, how many people do you think are Olympians? It's like none are probably nobody's probably an Olympian. Like
So do you think there's more pressure at Olympic level than World or Commonwealth level?
Yeah, I'd say so. Just because it is so big, like, but it's like there's no point thinking about it too much or bigging it out to be something. It's just another competition. Like, I actually we had a meeting in Dublin there before we flew out to London, and we were just talking about it and stuff. And I was like, it's it's the biggest thing that you could possibly go to, as an athlete. And so I was probably bigging it up to be too much. And somebody says, you know what? Well, it's just another boxing ring. If I don't go, if I go, I go. If I don't, I don't. I'm still going home to my family, my friends, and that's true because a lot of time people are just associating people with athletes. They're not. They're so much more. They're a brother, a sister, a partner, a father, an uncle. Nobody sees them like that. They're only like, oh, he's this person, he's that person. When there's so much more.
So sorry, go ahead. You want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, I suppose you're saying that at the minute with the UFC with Khabib. He said he's not the coronavirus. He's not the person stopping him from fighting. So it's just another example.
There's nothing really you can do. Like, it's just everyone's sort of in the same situation. I think it was a right call to put the Olympics back the next year because nobody's able to do what they can do normally on a day-to-day basis. So how do you expect that qualifier hasn't finished? People haven't qualified. There's more qualifiers for other sports. I'm only talking about boxing. Think about all the other sports. So it was the best call to make.
So that ties into the next question I have here. How has it affected like your training, other people's training, things, other athletes?
It affects everything. It affects your day-to-day, like day-to-day life. I usually go to Dublin on a Tuesday to train with the team. Sitting in the house now, there's nothing. Dublin's sort of on a strict lockdown. We're not too bad up here, but everyone's on the same path. But it's what you can do yourself in that time. Like, I'm lucky enough to have a good team around me, the club and stuff. My neighbour Curzo that got me into boxing, he was able to come up the other day and put a bag at the side of my house, and I was able to take equipment out of the boxing club to use at the side of the house. So I'm lucky enough, and even to have a carport, so if it was raining, I'll not be getting soaked or wet because of a roof over it. So it's very helpful for me. But it's what you can do in that time. Make the most of it. Spend time with family. Do your bits of work. Even working, if you're not strong in areas with mobility, you can work on mobility and do certain things.
Do you think that you're going to see some upsets in qualification because of this?
No, well, I wouldn't say so because, as people say, the cream always rises. Like if people really want to achieve, then they'll be doing the work now rather than it's doing what you can do with the time you have. So if people really want to try and qualify, they'll be still training and doing bits and pieces of what they can do. They'll not be letting it slide from from under their fingertips.
Bren, will not hold you anything just yet, but at the minute, what's your aspirations for the next Olympics then? So obviously last time you were quite young and you're a bit more mature now, a bit more experience and stuff behind you. Not that you didn't have experience then either, but your injuries and all started to heal. And so what's your aspirations at the minute? Obviously they can change between now and then, but what's the dream?
The dream for me is just, I always take it step by step, day by day. Even before I go into the ring, I always tell myself, minute by minute, punch by punch, second by second, and we'll get there. We'll get a medal and we'll change the colour of it, and that's the way I look at it. I don't like to put too much pressure on myself or, try and say, oh, I'm going. I would never say.
Oh no, I don't want to hold it. I think that's what I was saying.
Yeah, no, I would never say that to anyone like I'm going to win gold. Because if you don't go and win gold, you sort of look a bit stupid. Everyone does want to win a gold medal, but the reality of it is, there's a lot of things that can factor that. So, I always do what I can, and if the best is the best, then so be it. If it's not, it's not the end of the world.
Do you think it is a bad thing? See what you're saying now, that you wouldn't say that. See if it was me in that position, right? And I was to say I was going to go for gold, and say I got beat in the first fight, right? Just as an example. Yeah. I genuinely would not let anybody speak down to me to say, oh, you're a dick, you didn't do that. I think I would probably go off on them, because as you said, 0.00000.1 is going to go to the Olympics. So even
exactly,
at that level, you have to be an elite athlete. Like, if you look at tiers of football, there's certain football players or certain fight organizations, there's levels to it, and to get to the Olympics itself, I wouldn't say to yourself, oh, I wouldn't say this or that. Fucking, if you build it,
but I'm not that type of person to run about and say, I take it in my stride, and I can't describe like the feeling, like representing your country and getting the chance to represent my country at the second Olympics, and even being team captain there at that tournament. Like it's a great honor in itself. So even to be qualified and on the plane to Tokyo, it's
that's it. You're captain. Are you one of the longest people on the team now? Broke up quite bad there, didn't it? Coronavirus problems.
Coronavirus.
5G towers, is it?
That's what it is.
George got one outside his house.
There's nothing wrong with 5G.
Anymore, he's no joke. That's terrible, George. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was below a belt. There's no call for that.
Just you remember that one.
What was that, George?
You know what? I don't even know. Fuck him. I was asking.
Will you get George some tissue here?
She's in work. She's NHS front line.
She's the breadwinner.
That's it. Well, I'm still employed until
today.
Till your wedding date. Oh wait, no.
Are you getting married? Was it? When is it?
Well, do you know what? I actually got my wedding ring engraved with the 24th. Trying to be all romantic. And
of course.
Be back to September now.
You should get the 2 dates on it.
You're gonna have to get that changed.
Nah, I think I'll just keep it on. It's a memory. Do you know one of the good things about it? See, in my honeymoon, I'd actually paid for a swim-up room, right? And now, in September, everything changed across, but if you want the swim-up room, it's an extra £1,700. I was like, fuck that. So, Roisin went on, and he was traveling in Lisburn, sorted out, and got me a suite, like a 2-floor suite with a balcony view, and a wee hot tub in the balcony, so...
Unreal.
Win.
So since we're on
where's your honeymoon? Where are you going?
Oh, there we go. Well, let's bring that in.
I'm supposed to be going to New York for 3 days and then Mexico.
Class. Unreal.
So since we're on the
topic
of
coronavirus,
since we're on the topic of
Yep.
coronavirus, right? How are you keeping like your diet plan and stuff, Brent?
I can't like emphasize this enough. Like, I'm so lucky to have a good sponsor and like fast, fresh, healthy meal plans. Like every Monday and Wednesday, food's dropped off to me for the week, and I can't thank them enough. They're there on time every week. Like I just get up in the morning, my breakfast is there, my lunch, my dinner, and everything's tailored around me. So if I'm losing weight, it'll be a bit stricter. Now I'm just sort of trying to maintain like a healthy balance. So now it's just sort of a balance of everything. So it's I'm so lucky in that way to have them and support me through especially this crucial time.
What's their name?
Fast, fresh, healthy meal plan. So get them on my Facebook page.
Right. Okay. Might have to go on that because
I'll
So
tell
what
you,
else?
they're spot on. Like
What else have you been doing with your time then? So coronavirus, we're all locked in the houses. How do you get your day in?
my day, and so as I said this earlier on, I will give myself 3 targets to hit every day. I've signed up to the breakthrough outreach cancer. I'm doing 2K a day for 20 days. Now it's just you can walk it or you can run it. I'm gonna walk it with the dog, get a bit active in the mornings with him, and I'll do a training session or I'll do a bit of meditation, play a bit of Xbox, just do the every day-to-day things, but have a bit of structure around it.
And so on the spot, what's your top 3 things for people to go and watch? You're not though, I've done an RB short podcast, so
To watch,
I to go and watch. It was on Netflix or Disney Plus. I see you were on Disney Plus yesterday.
I wasn't, Bruno was. I don't watch Disney films. High School Musical.
You know what I watched yesterday, and it was hilarious. Brave. It's the first time I've watched it.
What is it?
Brave. It's
Brave.
very good, isn't it?
But the wee
I've never seen it, but it's very good.
I'd never watched it, and I think it's my favorite Disney movie now.
Yeah, it's very good, but I've never seen it.
You just heard.
Just heard from someone.
Yeah, just
I'm
want to watch on Disney Plus.
I love Disney films, like I do.
Right, what's your top
Brilliant.
3 things to watch?
The new Bad Boys. That's very good. I like that.
I know,
That
but
would be illegal.
that would be illegal.
Why?
Stuff that you can watch now on like Netflix or
I don't know. I haven't even been on Netflix. Like, I've been playing my Xbox. If I could tell anyone to get a game, it'd be the new Call of Duty. Me and Jared's been flat out of it, and
That's it. You're learning well, aren't you?
I am, yeah. Poker Bros have been on it, so I have. So, what else?
So you're staying more interactive than actually watching stuff and being a wee bit anti-social. You're being more social.
Sort of, like, I'd watch things too, but I wouldn't spend a whole lot of time watching films, or I'd rather watch a good series and a good film.
just listening to our podcast.
Yep. Like, listen, I actually haven't listened to a whole lot of podcasts recently, so I haven't.
Just our one.
Just your ones, yeah, just BIMOs.
And do a few fan questions, or have you anything?
Yeah,
to
no
ask
worries.
there,
Can I
George?
give a shout out to my sponsors?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fast, fresh, healthy meal plans, Cutting Edge Barbers, and Springfield Autos. Couldn't thank them enough for all the help throughout the years. Stuck by me through everything. Like even Cutting Edge Barbers, they've been going 8 years. I walked in there to get my haircut one day when they first opened, and didn't know Podrick from Adam, and now he's a good friend of mine and a sponsor. And Kevin's stuck by me through everything. From the day I started boxing, he's always been there to support me. So huge thanks to them. And to St. Paul's for having my back through everything. They could easily, forgot about me or anything, but they stayed there and helped me through this wild journey.
Cutting Edge actually do a good haircut, but
Serious haircut. That's why I'm
they
wearing this
do.
hat, because Noel cut my hair the other day, and
No,
you need that cut.
His other brother not cut his hair the other day.
Oh Jesus! Let us see.
No.
Go.
No way.
Honestly, the fade on it.
I done his and he done mine. His is blended in and everything perfect. Should see mine.
Go. Show
I'm
us.
running about like Arthur Shelby. No way.
Show us. Go.
So here, Brenton, see last time you were on, did we do the quickfire questions with you?
I'm not sure.
Can you think of a few quickfire questions offhand, Anton? We'll just fire them at him. I'll give you the easy one. Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Sun holiday or a winter holiday?
Son.
Northern Tato, Southern Tato?
It's always the controversial
Southern.
one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Facebook or Twitter?
I live in Dublin. Facebook.
Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram. I don't have a TikTok.
Yeah, you do. We found you.
I did, but I actually deleted it. I
Doing them
couldn't take
Disney
it serious. Doing my dances. I'd end up breaking my neck doing one of those dance moves.
So Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder?
Tyson Fury all day long.
Has to be. Blame man the Galvin.
yeah.
See it.
Kim or Kanye was unbelievable.
Sorry,
Who?
go again, Jared.
Kim or Kanye?
Don't watch or follow any of it or listen to Kanye because I've seen him in concert once, but that's it.
Any
What
more,
else?
Anto? Have you any more?
No, I've just got a couple of wee fan questions. I can't think of the other ones.
Fair enough.
Just to
You ready
show
for some fan questions?
Just to
Go
show
ahead,
St. Paul's. Didn't Tyson Fury, whenever he was getting back in shape, he went to St. Paul's and done some workouts?
Yes, he did indeed. Belfast was the first place he came to when he decided he needed to get himself back training and taking it serious. And St. Paul's was the first place he came to, so big shout out to that. Like,
just shows the seriousness and the level of competition coming out of that gym. So,
big time.
one of the fan questions was, who would you like notice as an up and coming boxing talent?
There's plenty coming through at the minute, even in our club alone. Dylan McShane, Dylan Eagleson. There's so many kids coming through. We Oshie McCann. There's so much kids coming through, and every year you'll see our club. You'll not be able to fit any more people in it than it possibly has, and it's hard to do. But the club has to turn people away. They don't like doing it, but they have to because they don't have enough room, and it's hard that way. But you know, that just shows you the success the club has.
One from MC Podcasting, good wee podcast to listen to.
Yeah.
See, when you were in the Olympics, did you feel the weight of Ireland was behind you, or was it a pressure or added motivation?
I did feel a wee bit of pressure, just because it was like the world's biggest stage, and you know I was only 20 at the time, and I was a bit lost in the whole circus. But I would say pressure a wee bit from myself, not from anyone else, just because I wanted to do so well. It was a dream of mine to go there as a kid and perform, but you know, I'd say pressure. Like,
Now, I don't know who sent this one in. Well, I do, but
I'm just going to guess, Frankie. No?
No, not that one.
No.
Is it true that you fell asleep when you were doing the pads at the Commonwealth Games?
no, who said that? Who was that? Said that?
The same person may have also asked. Maybe didn't actually ask the other one. It was BIMO Sully. You know what? I'm just going to out him because he still hasn't come on this show yet.
I know. Well, I thought he was coming on the show.
Send him a link or an Adam in.
Will I send him one? How do you do it?
If you want, don't worry, but we'll get him next time.
Same
But
for-
is it true that you fell asleep?
We'll get him on in our time.
I think we had him lined up, and then didn't something happen where child minding?
Did I?
Something like it, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That
Think he'd
happened.
be a good fella to get on, like.
Or we could just go down outside Thompson's and record outside Thompson's when he's working.
Or you could just go down to the bottom of Glen Collin because he'd be standing by mural looking at it.
So what's the story with the Commonwealth Games and falling asleep with the pads? What's that?
I don't know. They must just think I fell asleep every night on 8 o'clock. No, I don't know. I always used to go to sleep early, so that's probably why. But they always used to be, no, he's asleep. He would sleep any chance he could get. I remember, this is true, right? No joke. This is funny. I remember we arrived into, what do you call that? We arrived into the training camp in Australia. We were all jet lagged, so tired. But we were told, look, Daphne recording, yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
That's us.
Right, so
no one needs to see it.
we arrived in Australia, and I think it might have been the second or third day in, and we were so tired. Like every day we were wrecked. Like at say about 7 o'clock every night, I actually fell asleep in the living room, and watching a film. But one day after a training session, we were told, look, stay awake the whole day. Do not go to sleep because you need to stay awake the whole day to try and get over the jet lag. I was like, right. We were all right, okay, right. So one day I was wrecked. And I was sitting in a room, and it was like we single rooms, and I was near falling asleep. So I was like, right, I need to go to this room before I fall asleep. So I was like, right, sure, I'll go upstairs and sit with Dee. And up the Dee's door. knock on the door. No answer. Bang, bang, bang again. And I could hear him getting up out of bed, and his big feet come over to the door. And he opens the door like this. I goes, are you sleeping? He goes, no. He goes, his eyes all sleeping on his eyes. I go, you're a fucking idiot. You're not meant to be sleeping. He goes, shush, don't be telling John. Sat there, and that's why he's probably slagging me about the sleep.
I thought it's because you were so good you could fight with your eyes closed.
Probably, I hear. That's probably why.
More likely that's what it is.
And is Dee Suttley's mum still taking selfies with your mural?
I don't know. I haven't seen her, but I think a few people on the street have. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Is ring rust a real thing?
100%.
How hard is it to cure?
I know. It's hard, but like the hardest thing you can do is actually get back in the ring and spar, and because that's when it'll be tested and you will be rusty, and then more rounds will get rid of it. A couple of fights will get rid of it. The more rounds, the better, I think, because that's what you need for competition. Like,
what's your ambitions for after the Olympics?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I would like to do a course on psychology, so I'm not sure whether I go pro after. I don't know.
See how the land lies.
See how
There's a few questions about Conor Burns, so is it maybe to fight him? Somebody's asked why
he's called me out a few times, so I would fight him.
Scared.
I'll fight him in the Davenish. I'll fight him in Glen Collin. And the pitches.
Fight him at the Fela.
No, he's called me out a few times, like, so he has.
He's some pup. So he is.
He's wrecking boys in Belfast.
He's wrecking Olympians. He got
a tough at last fight though against Paddy.
He did.
He was tested.
He persevered though. He came through it.
Yeah, he grinded it out like. He's a slugger.
Jared, have you any more questions, sir?
And no, a few people just asking where they can follow you on your what social channels do you update?
Twitter is @Rooster. Instagram is Brendan Irvine 1. I have 2 Facebook pages, my personal one and a like page. So they are Brendan Rooster Irvine is the like page and just Brendan Irvine.
Sweet. Well, thank you very much for coming on, lad. Appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for having me on, lads. I appreciate that for getting me back on the show.
No worries.
I mean, stay safe and wash your hands, and I'll maybe see you after Easter or something.
Yes, you too.
Best of luck,
Keep it
mate.
safe. Yes, thanks, lads.
And don't forget, you owe me a ring walk if you do go professional with a belt. Still haven't forgot that.
I couldn't hear it. Sorry, what was that there? When you get married?
Right, take it easy, man.
Yes.
All right. Cool.